Hey guys, it's me, Trevis, with DFSkarma.com and BetKarma.com, showcasing how easy it is to win money on the new game mode called Lightning Lineups that OwnersBox dropped. I don't know, maybe I think it was right before NFL started, so maybe it's been about 2 months old now. Collectively, myself, I've racked up over $73,000 worth of screenshots in this mode, and so I just want to make sure that as often as possible, for those who still, for whatever reason, haven't got on board yet and started playing along with us, understand how easy this is, how it works, and how to win at an extremely high rate. So the first thing I want to draw attention to is the map. If you live in a light blue state, you are able to play Lightning lineups. There's only a few states that have dark blue. You can play the DFS lineup stuff, like building a lineup and competing against others. Those are the dark blue ones, usually like Tennessee, Ohio, etc. If you're in a light blue state, or if you're in a gray state, you can't play anything on OwnersBox right now. But if you're in a light blue state, which is a lot of the states in this map, you're able to play this game mode. I stress again, you're able to play this game mode. So, that being said, let me switch over here to Lightning lineups. This is for Thursday Night Football. Thursday Night Football Lightning lineups. I'm going to quickly explain how this works, and then what we do in our community chat room to help each other win. So, the quick explanation. As you see on the screen, there are 3 lineups. There's lineup 1, lineup 2, lineup 3. When it is a single game slate, Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, there's only going to be 2 players in these lineups. If you're playing main slate Sunday, you're going to see 3 players in the lineup. So it's 3 people max in each lineup row or each lineup column, 2 people for the single game slates because there's not that much in the player pool. So what you have to do as the user when you're playing on their app, or you can plug this in the Discord if you want to do that, is you're trying to determine which of those 3 lineups is going to score the most points. So right here real quick, we have Dallas and Jordan. We have Smith Moore. We have Pierce Gainwell. So, okay, I have to decide which one of those 3 is going to score the most points. So how it works is you just click on it. So if, let's say we think this is going to score the most points. We click over here. We type in an amount of money and a bankroll that we want to put on here. And as you see, it's 2.25x. So we turn $500 into $1,125 if you put $500 in anyway. So that's the quick gist. Now, some other things you see up right here. It says add lineup payout 3x. This isn't always here for the single game slates. It is for the main slates. You can click this a handful of times. But what this is saying is that if you add another lineup, so just refresh there. So if you add another lineup, you have to pick one that's going to beat 3 other ones. So it makes it a little bit harder for you. And because it makes it a little bit more harder, you add more risk. They actually up the payout from 2.25x to 3x. So the same thing that would have made us $1,125, it's not going to make us $1,500. So some other things to pay attention to. You see, if you just saw it refreshed a second ago, you see here there's this yellow line that's ever so slowly going down. You have a 60-second clock to figure out, okay, which one's going to be my one I'm going to go with. Click on it and then lock it in. And once that's done, once the yellow goes away, it just refreshes just like this. Now, if you look at the options and you don't like any of them, you can just click on this little shield, this logo here, and it'll just keep refreshing. And you can do that infinite amount of times. So you're probably asking yourself, well, Trevis, if I only have 60 seconds, how the heck am I supposed to figure out who to play? Well, there's a lot of things that I've created over the last 8 weeks for this game mode that not only helps myself out, but helps all of our community in our Discord. Actually drop things for free. So if you're not in the Discord yet, you're crazy. Get in the Discord by going to dfskarma.com/chat. It'll be an automatic invite to the Discord, and this stuff is in the free channels. But you see here on the screen, over to the far right. Wait, hold on. This direction. I forgot where my camera was there for a second. Over here, to the far right of the screen, this is what I just put in right before I started recording. So what I did is I went through and I saw, okay, what is it spitting out combo-wise? What are the 2-player options for Thursday Night Football, which today's Wednesday, so you have plenty of time to lock this in. So Pierce Smith, all these other ones, this is what I was seeing. And so what I did, what I always do, no matter what I'm playing on, I'm always looking at the lineup optimizer projections on the dfskarma.com website, which you have to get access to by clicking on the Get Access button. So I recorded all the stacks, and then I plugged in the points for those stacks. And then I sorted them by the highest points. And there's 2 things here I'm going to go into in a second. So make sure you're paying attention because I don't want you just throwing money in the wind and not listening to every single thing I give you here. every single little nugget. So Pierce Smith, as of this second, Pierce Smith is the best combo in terms of overall points. Now, more often than not, for these single game slates, the highest stack does typically perform at the highest outcome. So if you're going with Pierce Smith, more often than not, what we've seen in this game using this strategy that we're doing here by using our lineup optimizer, more often than not, it wins. We just did this for Monday Night Football, where the highest stack won. So we're going to keep doing this as well. Now, there's two things to pay attention to. One, you could just look for, just smash the refresh until you see a Pierce Smith stack, or because it's not a guarantee, like you could probably refresh a million times before you see it, or maybe one time, or maybe it pops up on the first time. But the other thing you need to pay attention to is the difference between each of the stacks. So let's look at the first two stacks here on the cheat sheet I have to the far right. Pierce Smith is 30.49. Goddard and Pierce is 29.73. Now, of course, that's impossible because we can't have Pierce in two stacks on the same options, because you can only have one player per layout, if you will, per refresh. But let's just say, for example, we did see both of these stacks. 30.49 is not that far away from 29.73. And I just realized as I read that off that I have Goddard and Pierce twice on here. I just realized that I had them flipped. So, listen, that doesn't matter. But, so 30.49 is not that far away from 29.73. If the second lineup, so let's say Pierce Smith is number one, and let's say the second lineup is Brown and Burkhead, which is 23.31, just for argument's sake, that's over 7 full projection points difference, which is a huge deal. So you want to see, okay, so quickly, when you first see something for the first time, which I'll do while recording here with you guys to show you how quickly we can do this, you want to find the highest lineup, and then you want to quickly determine how greater of a lineup that is over the other two options. And those few things I mentioned, that's the gist for the single game showdowns, for the Thursday Night Football, the Monday Night Football, the Sunday Night Football. That is how you can win. And also, they have this for NBA as well. So if you want to get to the single game showdowns for NBA, you got to check it right before the 10 p.m. game starts. So if there's only like one 10 p.m. game for the slate, and everything else has already started, if you pull this up on the app, you're only going to see players from that 10 p.m. game. So it just keeps removing players from the player pool as their games begin. So you can kind of get the same concept if you only care about the NBA stuff. But let's go ahead real quick, and I'll show you. Let me see here. Okay, so let me click the refresh. I'm going to show you real quick here. So, all right. Okay, so we got Pierce. Do we have Pierce Watkins here? Give me a second. Pierce Watkins. I don't think I have a Pierce Watkins, but I know Watkins is garbage. I think he's only like 3 or 4 points projection, so I'm not going to worry about that one, even though Pierce is relatively high. Smith Moore. Let's see. Smith is 12.98. I think Moore's only 7. I don't like. So what it does, it tries to. So what the algorithm does, so these aren't predetermined lineups anyway. This is an algorithm that's spitting out 2 player stacks that are in a almost identical projection range based on OwnersBox projections. So if you completely fade the projections, that's where you guys find an edge. So you see here it says 16.61, 17.25, 19.03. So if you're just blindly playing, you're like, oh, 19.03 is higher than the other ones, lock it in. Their projections are not good, which is why we've had so much success, because we fade them and use the lineup optimizer on DFSkarma.com's projections. But Dallas, let's see, 12, and Jordan, that's 19. We can add a fourth one here, Mills and Gainwell. I don't like anything here. That's 18 point. Yeah, there's nothing here that jumps out as a great enough average or great enough total over the other stacks. Brown and Cooks. Did I have Brown and Cooks here yet? I don't think so, but I like that combo. So yeah, so I went through them a bunch when I created this cheat sheet, but you'll still see, sometimes you'll see things that don't pop up too often. Like I didn't see Brown Cooks until right now as I'm recording this. But Brown I think was 17, Cooks is 15, that's 32. So this is actually the highest stack right now on the slate. I'm clicking too many things, bringing up too many things here. So Brown and Cooks, yeah, because Brown's the 3rd overall projections, Cooks is the 4th. So that by far is the most. You're not going to see too many Hurts, because Hurts has such a high projection. You can't possibly have him in something else because he has 9 points higher than the second place Pierce. So Brown and Cooks is the best. Mills and Sanders is what, 5th and 6th best. Pierce and Smith is 2nd and best. 17, 31. So we have 30. So yeah, this Brown and Cooks have a 3-point advantage. So even though it's the best stack on the slate, they only have a 3-point advantage over the next highest one. So I like it. I'll play it, but 3 points is probably the least amount I'll do. If you find things that only have a 2-point advantage over the other stacks, or a 1-point advantage, or no advantage, don't put your money on that stuff. Look for 3 points or higher. If you keep going and everything you're seeing is 2 points or less, then just keep clicking this refresh button here. That's just what you got to do. But yeah, so far that Brown and Cook stack was the best. I believe it was 32.55 if I'm doing the quick math inside my head. So let's see. So right here we have Smith and Moore. I like how I refresh this 1 trillion times, and then when I start recording, they're like, hey, here's things that you didn't see yet. But that's, you see here, is it showing up there? Yeah, you see here where I scroll. So this is the individual projections the lineup optimizer has. So I just have a formula here that showcases the totals for me to do the quick math. So I can still look at these and do quick math for Thursday Night Football. But let's look at this again here. Give me a second. I'll do 2 more. So Smith, Moore. Smith is 12.98. Moore, so that puts it at about, let's see, 12. About 18.6. Godare and Jordan, it's 19.22. So there's no gap here. Pierce and Watkins. Watkins 4. Pierce 20, 21. Yeah, so there's nothing really here. And then Mills and Gainwell, there's nothing there. There's not enough of a gap there to make it look good. So right again, we have this. This is the same 3, I think. Isn't it the same exact 3 we had when we were looking at it, and we said that Cooks was the best? I'm pretty sure. So Cooks and Brown we know is the best on the slate because Brown is the 3rd overall projections. Cooks is the 4th. Let's see, Mills and Smith. It's 25. That's not even close. Pierce and Godare 17.5 and it's 29.7. So yeah. It still has a 3-point. I wasn't 100% sure if this was the exact same 3, but I think it was. So yeah, Brown and Cook's the same thing. I locked that in. There's not an option to add a 3rd lineup, but in this case, when you know this is such a great lineup, if there was an option here to add a 4th one, make sure that the 4th one that shows is at least 3 points less than our projection for lineup 1. And if it is, then keep it in there because it'll turn your 2.25x to a 3x, and it'll just make you more money on something that you were already going to play anyway, which was lineup number 1. I'm going to do one more for you guys before I wrap up this video here. All right, let's see. Pierce Watkins. 17.51. So we're looking at about 21.5. Sanders Jordan. 20.97. So there's a 1 point, not even, no, that's like a less than a 1 point difference. Mills and Gainwell. 18.7. Yeah, there's not enough here. Smith and Moore. So we're gonna add a 4th one to see if the 4th one is good. And I don't think it is. Smith 12.98. Yeah, these are all too close to each other, and I don't. They have some garbage fill-ins as well. That for single game showdowns, not. I'm just gonna focus on that really sexy. Who was it? Cooks and Brown stack. But just make sure that what you're versing, like I said, use the cheat sheet. Make sure what you're versing is going to be at least 3 points higher than the other stacks. It's against the house. We can all play the same stuff together. It's easier to find the same stuff on single game showdowns than it is for main slates. That's almost impossible. So if you're like, okay, for main slates, what do I do? Well, you get into our Discord, go to the Lightning Lineups channel. I have all of these. I have like 6 or 7 things to look for main slate. 6 or 7 strategy points that win at an extremely high rate. We are winning money hand over fist when it comes to Lightning lineups because it's easy to beat the house when the house is using garbage projections. And you just have to find projections that are better, i.e. karmas, and that's how you win more often than not. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments of this video, or simply just go to the Discord and DM us there. But yeah, good luck on Thursday night, guys, and we'll see you for the next video I do. Deuces.